right, who says Curtis Sliwa can't win, the Republican nominee? New poll shows Republican Sliwa may be able to defeat Mamdani the commie, as President Trump calls him. Curtis, welcome on set. It's great to see you, my friend. So look at this. Harris X poll, Mamdani 26, Cuomo 23, Sliwa 22. It's an even keel in the air margin. Adams, you're running 10 points ahead of Eric Adams. So you're in good shape. Why do people keep writing you off? I think you got a great shot at it.
And not only that, I'm the only Republican. The other three, Mamdani, Adams, and Cuomo, are Democrats, and the Democrats allowed the socialists to take over their party and haven't fought to get it back. So why not persevere with Republican principles like we did with Rudy Giuliani and then Michael Bloomberg? And we had a Republican Governor Pataki. We had no chaos, no corruption. Ever since we've had de Blasio, Cuomo, and now Adams, chaos and corruption. And the other thing is that I understand millennials and Gen Zers. This is the key. Larry, you and I, we're baby boomers. I got to tell my audience out there, we're no longer in charge. We're not the majority. We're not the majority of the voters. And they will determine who the next mayor of the city of New York is. Now, Adams and Cuomo have basically discarded them. It's such a solid group of young men and women that, if you notice, President Trump utilized in his victory over Harris. He was able to get a lot of the millennial men and Gen Z men, and I think that was his margin of victory. That's where the battle has to be fought, in the streets, over your principles versus Mamdani's, not who should drop out, who should. By the way, this idea of socialism and communism, I say to my Jewish friends, hey, who was the founder of the State of Israel? That's right. The man in charge was a socialist, right?
Yeah, they were. It was a socialist country.
Rabin was socialist, okay?
But so, that wasn't good.
Right. But then you had Neil Kinnock, and Tony Blair came about and ousted the socialists from the Labor Party.
Right.
The Democrats need to oust the socialists. Look, they let Bernie Sanders in. He was never a Democrat. Joe Crowley never ran a race against AOC. Cuomo mailed it in against Mamdani. And obviously, Eric Adams has been rejected by the Democrats. So why don't we fight for Republican principles?
I'm going to come to that in a second. I think it's a very important point. You are going to be a law and order guy.
Yeah.
You're saying you're the only one in the subways. I've told the story how you helped saintly wife when the illegal immigrants moved into her neighborhood in the South Bronx. Jessica Tisch, you will keep her as police commissioner.
Amazing job to clean up the corruption mess of Eric Adams.
Right. I mean, I think that's very, very important. And I think no matter what Mamdani says, he won't keep her. Or if he does keep her, he'll completely handicap her and cut enormous amounts. He wants to defund the cops no matter who the chief is. Isn't that going to be a big issue?
Of course, but even more personal, the fact that he doesn't want police responding to domestic issues. Women will die. Children will die. I've been involved in those, in preventing those with guardian angels and police. The fact that he wants social workers to patrol instead of cops. But the sanctimonious hypocrite that he is, Larry, notice now he has NYPD armed police officers at his beck and call. So social workers for you and armed police officers for him. But the other key details is you have to go in neighborhood by neighborhood. There are 350 neighborhoods that make up New York City. I've been in all of them. They all have their own unique demands. And if you go in and you talk to the people and you get them to vote, because people don't vote, you can beat Mamdani. But if we're going to play this game, oh, Curtis should drop out. I'm the only Republican on a law and order platform in a city where you have Eric Adams as mayor, where we lock up toothpaste and don't lock up criminals.
So here's a thought, just a thought. When Rudy Giuliani ran, particularly when his successful run in 1993, and he was a tremendous mayor, he argued that public safety and law and order created businesses and schools, employment, jobs, affordability. Mamdani runs on affordability. He's going to ruin everything. Grocery stores and millionaires and billionaires and business owners in general will flee the city. But law and order, adding cops, you're going to add cops, I say leads to a stronger economy. That was one of Rudy Giuliani's most important points. And Rudy pledged never to raise taxes. In fact, he came in and cut the sales tax. Now, I'm just giving you some ideas here.
Well, you are my economic
Why not link law and order and public safety to a better economy, which creates affordability? Why not cut the sales tax, or certainly pledge no new taxes?
Well, the only difference between Rudy, our greatest mayor, and today is you don't have to be in New York City, neither the workers or the companies. 125,000 men and women already of wealth have fled with $21 billion to Florida. That's not under Zoran Mandami. So the way you keep them here is you have to explain to them you're going to take care of their workers. You're going to take care of the homeless and the emotionally disturbed. You're going to be compassionate, caring, but you're going to be law and order. And the most important thing is you are going to help the millennials. Larry, this is their problem. This is why they're going to Zoran Mandami.
Safety equals economic growth.
Right.
Safety equals better businesses. Safety equals bodegas that will stay open. This guy's going to close down all the bodegas.
But we didn't fulfill our promise to this generation. They're making $150,000. They went to school. They got their graduate degree. Crushed by student loans. Do you realize that by the time they pay their rent, and they're in a dormitory, living in an apartment in New York City, they can't afford to live here. You know how angry they are? So when Zoran Mandami comes by and says, hey, I'm going to freeze the rent, I'm going to give you free bus fare. Guess what, Larry? Half the people don't pay their bus fare to begin with. That's how you battle Zoran Mandami. You don't label him, call him names, stop talking about dropping out. Get into the streets and subways and argue the issues.
Yeah, just think about that linkage. Law and order equals better.
Will you be my consigliere in this
I've been for
administration?
about 25 years.
We've been together for
years. What else is new? Curt Sliwa, the best of the best. I once got his Guardian Angels Award. Judy still has your jacket. All right, you got to get off the set because we have these brilliant commentators. You can win this race. You can win this race.